welcome to Geography Practical Tutorial video. We are looking at measuring of distances. And in measuring distances, there are two ways to do that. One, you can be asked to measure between 2 points. Let's say they'll give you town A and town. Measure the straight, you measure the distance as the crow flies. That means you measure it in a straight line. You will not follow any linear path, any linear feature. And also you can be asked to measure the length of a linear feature or the distance from point A to point B through a linear feature. And let's say the road from Kumasi to Accra, measure the distance from Kumasi to Accra by a road. So that one you measure the road. So let's quickly delve into the first one. Alright, so we are dealing with the first one first, that is measuring in a straight line. And there are 3 or 4 simple easy steps. The first step is that you have to identify the points, and then you measure the distance between them with a long ruler, preferably a long ruler. You can also use the thread, but you then bring the thread back. But the long ruler is best. If you have the long ruler, you just get the measurement once and for all. You are done, as we'll see soon. Then the third one is to you find the scale of the map, and then you convert the map distance you gained here to ground distance here. So now let's take an example at Topo City, and then we've been told to find the distance from Afienya to WASSCE. So now let's look here. So first, what we have to do is to find 2 points. So we have Afienya here, and then WASSCE it's here. Okay, so now if you identify that 2 points, so all we need to do is that just place, this is as the crow flies, don't forget. So just place your ruler in the middle of the town here, not on the name where the settlements are. There's a junction here, so we place it at the junction, and then here. So we can see that the distance from WASSCE to Afienya or Afienya to WASSCE, the same, is about 23 centimeters. All right, so the map distance is 23 centimeters. Just write it down somewhere. Now let's find the scale. The scale given is 1:50,000 centimeter is to half a kilometer. Okay, so that's the scale, 1:50,000. The fourth one is to convert to map distance to ground distance. This is how you should preferably put it in your book. You write the map distance and you write the distance you got when we measured, and we had 23 centimeters. Then you write your scale, which is 1:50,000. This means that for every 1 centimeter on the graph, there's a ground movement of what, 50,000 centimeters. So that will mean that we'll multiply this by this, making it 23 times 50,000. That means that every 23 cents, we move, each one is 1, so we move 23. We are going to multiply by 50,000. Then we divide by 100,000. That is 1 kilometer is to 100,000 centimeters. That's why I divide them by 8. So here, quickly do our calculations. 4 zeros, 4 zeros. This here 1, this here 2, giving us 23/2. But then we really should, it's best to leave your answer in decimal. So 23 divided by 2 give us 2 kilometers. That means that 23 centimeters on the ground, on the map, sorry, is the same as, and then you are done. That is measuring as the crow flies, or measuring in a straight distance. Okay. we are done with the first one as a growth flight or straight line. We now look at how to measure on a given linear feature. So you can be asked to measure from point A to point B, or you measure the road from point A to point B along a particular feature. It can be a road, it can be a railway, it can be a footpath, it can even be a river or a water body, a stream. Okay, so long as it is a linear feature, you can be asked to measure along that feature. So in this example, we'll be using road because that's the most commonly used linear feature. But they can also tell you to by a railway. If you measure the length of a river. Alright, so as I was saying, the feature can be a railway, a road, a water, a stream, river, whatever. He will be using the road. They can also, as I said, they can also ask you to measure the distance or the length of a river. It's the same principle that you apply as we are doing here. Just using your thread. You can use your thread, your divider, your paper. With this I'll be using the thread method because it's the simplest. If you want, you can use the divider or paper method if you know how to use it. But I'll be using it because it's the simplest and the easiest. So it's similar to point one. Identify the points, measure along the feature, identify the scale, convert the map distance to ground distance. Then you are done. So let's quickly look at. So one, the question says that you have to measure the distance of the road from Doyum to PWD staff quarters. So let's quickly come to the map and then. So let's identify 2 points. We are given Doyum, and as you can see, Doyum is here. PWD staff quarters is here. So that means you are measuring this road from here to somewhere here. So it doesn't enter the staff quarters, so you have to just approximate the center and then we measure up to that place using our thread. The thread, preferably you should get a white thread to make the markings clearly visible. To begin, we indicate, you can start at the beginning of the thread or just give some distance. And then always, if there's a junction, measure in the junction. That's mostly at the center of the town. So we start from here, we mark on it, indicating this is our starting point. Now we this is fairly straight, so you can put it on it to get something. So we mark here. Now we continue. So you mark it on the thread. Alright, so it is marked. And then we find, you can see another straight line here. So we mark on the thread. Then here is a bit curved, so you see with the thread you can also similarly get it to curve for you. Okay, so then it's okay. So this is our distance. So it starts from here, as you can see on the markings on the thread. It starts from here to here. So when you have this, you just come and then place it on your ruler. See from 0, this the first point, and then so as you can see, it is around 11 around 11.56, or let's say 11.5. So that is our ground map distance. That's the distance by road from Doyum to PWD staff quarters. Okay, so now let's go to the board. So as we wrote here, solution map distance (11.5 centimeters), and then the scale, the same scale we are using. So map, the scale is the same as it was here, so 1:50,000. And then we find our ground distance. We convert, so ground distance similar thing, but then here will be 11 times 5, 50,000 times all over 100,000. So 11.5 over 2. You will just input it on your calculator. The answer is 5.75 kilometers. Alright, so that means that by road, if you are traveling from Doyum on the map from here through here to PW staff quarters around here, you will travel a total distance of 5.75 kilometers. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's lesson, which was measuring distances. Thank you.